Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of the new series, Voice of Opinion. This is a series where we're going to be voicing our opinion on all sorts of things that come to mind. Today we're going to be talking about football and, well, the English game. I'm joined today by my good friend, Mr. Dunning. Dave here.
Hello guys, how you doing? Okay, Robert, what do you think the biggest problem is with the state of the English game?
I think the main thing it boils down to is all the money that's coming.
But is that not a good thing as well?
Yes and no. It's good that the money does a lot of good things for football. It brings top talents.
Top talent. I mean, even at grassroots level, you could argue that better facilities are available for younger players.
Has that really happened though? Has it really improved at that level?
In theory, it should, but
it hasn't.
It hasn't, and that's something I don't understand, because the English game, the Premier League, it's the richest league in the world, but why are England so bad at international tournaments?
Well, that's obvious.
For Roy Hodgson.
No, obviously not.
No.
He's a terrible manager, but no. Because with all the money that's coming into the game, clubs have more to spend, and they just go and buy foreign talent all the time. Spend all their money abroad.
I mean, if you look at the German, the Spanish league, the percentage of players that are actually German and Spanish playing for the top teams is far greater than, well, the equivalent of the English talent.
It's always going to be the way it's going.
Yeah.
So much money going around. And English talent, for some reason, costs so much more than foreign talent. Youth-wise, anyway.
I mean, if we take, for example, if we talk about someone like James Milner.
Oh, do we have to?
I'm afraid so. It's the only example I can think of.
But talent.
I know, but how much did he join City from Villa for? It's about 25 million, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
It was something like that, but the point I'm trying to make is, like, a German or a Spanish equivalent player probably would have only cost about 5 or 6 million.
Probably about half a million. The equivalent of Milner. It's not exactly the best
free transfer.
You're lucky to get that.
Yeah.
Pack of peanuts.
But I mean, maybe we're being unfair to Mr. Milner. You're doing very well for yourself. Why do you think that foreign investors haven't funded as much as we would have thought they would the grassroots level? So, kind of like academies and centres of excellence.
When foreign investors come into the game, their sole purpose is to make money.
Making a quick buck, isn't it?
So they invest in the top players to win all the trophies and get all the money the quickest way possible. Investing in youth takes time, and people look at Tan.
Yeah.
At Cardiff.
What a bell end.
One way of putting it. I can think of a few words that I'm not going to say on camera.
But how many of the smaller teams are, they're farming young players, and they're developing them, they're getting into the first team, and they're being noticed on an international level?
There aren't that many. Southampton,
yeah, they're a good example. And even in the case of Ricky Lambert, who's probably slightly over the hill, he's been revitalised, since he's been in the Premier League, and played for England, scored in his debut.
Doesn't mean anything nowadays, though.
It doesn't. Like that's another thing. Like, the players don't care about international football, and that is one reason why we're so shit at international tournaments. The fans are paying tens of thousands to go and watch the so-called heroes. I mean, heroes at club level, but internationally they don't care. They're spending so much money to go and watch their team abroad at Wembley, paying stupid prices at Wembley, and they don't deliver. And some of these athletes are the most highly paid athletes in the world. Wayne Rooney agreeing a new contract for 300k a week. It's ridiculous.
Football-wise, that's high up there, but you look at American football and baseball, basketball, they get that day. Well,
Yeah.
not quite like that, but
Well, advertising deals as well. Sponsorships from people like Nike and Adidas. Some of these players make about 20 million a year, easy.
I think Beckham was making 17 or so a year when he was playing. His last few years, anyway, which is ridiculous.
Considering he wasn't even the best right winger in the world.
He got about 5 million a year from having his cock on show in his underwear.
Yeah.
So,
Not quite on show then.
Well, no.
The bulge.
Yeah.
It's a very impressive bulge, by the way, Mr. Beckham, but was it really worth 5 million a year?
Was it really impressive?
It was alright, it's bigger than mine.
Do you want me to cut that out?
No.
But, yeah, sponsorship is ruining, well, can ruin young players. You see players like Ross Barkley, Januzaj, even Luke Shaw, players that are emerging with like top talent, and they're on, like Januzaj's on 30k a week. He's 18
barely out of nappies.
in football sense, yeah.
Looks about 12 as well.
So all that money going to young players can go straight to the head, and
They think they've
What their
already
mind
made
with
it.
yeah,
They think, I don't need to do anything anymore. I don't need to improve my game. I don't need to,
it doesn't.
go and help teams at charity functions and all that stuff. I've made it. I can go out getting pissed at nightclubs and get thrown out by bouncers at 4 a.m. Have training the next day at 9 o'clock. Play hungover. All that stuff, and no one's really gonna care. You see players like Ashley Cole and Wayne Rooney at nightclubs smoking cigarettes. And they're like highly paid athletes. They're getting so much money through sponsorship and the wage packets as well.
I don't think smoking cigs and everything is really that bad thing for an athlete.
It's not great.
The worst, the main problem that people have with that is the image it gives to the youth.
Yeah.
But they're still humans. They're still adults.
Yeah.
They can do what they want.
It's true, but if you're paying someone 90, 100 grand a week and more to play football, you want them at the top of their physical condition.
Yeah, but I don't think having the odd cigarette here and there is really going to affect that much. They're more concerned about the image that it gives.
Yes.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all the money that's coming in, whether it's from financial investors or sponsorship deals, anything, all the money that's coming into English football is good and bad. You have both sides of it. It's good because it helps improve the game, it attracts more to the sport. But it's bad because it doesn't really help in the long run our own talent, our own country, our own international side. If you look at the international side that's come up for the World Cup, we've got no chance. Probably got no chance of even picking up a point. Might be lucky to get a point against Costa Rica or whatever it is. Well, that's about it. Whereas teams like Spain, not even Spain, rubbish teams like Austria,
Are they even in the
Switzerland,
tournament?
I don't know, Switzerland, even Costa Rica will think they've got a chance. But they're playing it because they love the game. There's not the money involved in there. They haven't got the players that attract that sort of money. Their own leagues. I don't even Costa Rica have even got a league.
No, they probably do. I mean, most countries with an FA will have some sort of professional top flight.
If there is,
Most of them play abroad anyway. Most
Exactly.
of them play in the US or Europe.
but they're all not on 100 to 300k a week.
They probably take like 20-30k a year.
A lot of them. We look at San Marino; they'll give anything to be in a World Cup.
You know, you get like
And they're carpenters, a lot of them.
firemen,
So,
policemen,
yeah. So the money,
candlestick makers.
all the money doesn't have to be there to improve football. It helps, but the money that is there is being pushed into the wrong areas. Should be pushed into the youth setups, the academies, and everything.
I think we said before that investors, they want results straight away. That's why there's so much pressure on managers to get results quickly.
That's why it's stupid.
You know, so they're saying, "Oh, I could develop this, young talent, and maybe loan him out. In 5 years, he'll be one of the best in the world." Or I could go spend 30 million on the finished product, finished article.
Which is fine if they're English.
Well,
or
yeah.
British. But when it's finding a Bulgarian from the second division who's somehow world class, spending 25 million on him, when you've got a potential quality youth player
That you won't need to spend a penny on.
Yeah. Which is what's going to ruin the international game for England and Wales, Scotland, Ireland. All that.
Investors don't see the bigger picture. You know, they expect City to go out, win the title every season, or Chelsea to go win the Champions League every season. And, we can look at Man United as well. Like, Moyes given a 6-year contract, so obviously they hope he's going to be there for the long run. And you can understand why fans are getting frustrated, with the team's performances on the pitch, because they've had 20 years of unparalleled success.
Yeah.
But it's the transition, and the fans have got to basically, they've got to give him a chance. There's not many managers that can emulate. Well, there's probably no manager on the planet that can emulate what
There's probably
done.
There's probably a handful of managers that can get about half of what Fergie got in his career. Maybe a half.
Yeah.
Probably not even a half, quarter of what he's done.
Yeah.
He changed English football as well.
He did.
So.
Even before he joined United, he's with Aberdeen, won European Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
With a team like Aberdeen, when you look at Rangers and Celtic, that's just unbelievable. And when he joined United, it took a few years to get going. He nearly got sacked, didn't he? And it's just it was an FA Cup run that helped him keep his job.
Yeah.
And
Mark Robbins, I think, was called.
Yeah. And then when the Premier League was formed, I think Leeds won the title the previous year. Did not?
Like that.
And United just, they lost a few games in like the August, September, October, but for the rest of the season they were a machine. And look at the talent they developed. They had
Class of '92.
Fergie's fledglings.
That shows that you can rely on young talent from the academy.
Absolutely.
Which is what foreign investors should start to realise. Because even if they carry on winning everything every year, one club, and with a foreign investor, and they're really happy, they're winning all this stuff, get all the trophies, it's going to lead to a lot of problems in the league. A lot of other clubs will be just getting really annoyed. They'll try and get rid of them, try and push them into Euro League, which obviously again will lead to more money.
Yeah.
So the foreign investors will be happy with that. And then it will ruin the game again.
Well, that's another thing as well. It's like most teams, their objective is to qualify for the Champions League. It's like, if we finish fourth, that's a successful season.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a successful season unless you've won the league or won the cup competition.
Yeah.
You don't get a prize for finishing fourth.
That's why the Champions League should be for the champions.
Exactly.
And the Euro should be, or Europa should be second and third or something.
Yeah. But it's the money, it's the sponsorship, and the development of the Champions League, media rights. that have led to this influx of money. And foreign investors think, hey, well, if I buy this, average team, like they did with City. City were pretty crap.
They were.
And then,
Still are. I wish.
yeah. But, they were pretty crap, and then investors came in and, farmed all this money, put it into the team, and, it took a while, but they won the league, won the Champions League. Probably going to get dicked on by Barcelona, but
Hopefully.
That's...
I know after this video, a lot of you will be saying, how can you just say that? Hoping City can get dicked by Barcelona when you're talking about the state of the English game. That's an English club. But if you look at City, how many English players do they actually have? They're basically a foreign club anyway, so I don't think anyone can judge me.
Joe Hart and James Milner.
Lescott.
Richards doesn't even get a game, and
No.
5 or 6 years ago, people said, "Oh, this guy's going to be the next, central defender, right back,
Yeah.
the national team." And Zabaletta's a quality player, but he's,
To be fair to Richards, he has had so many problems with injuries,
yeah,
so he hasn't had the chance to cement the side, have place in the side. But then Zabaletta's going to be hard to knock out in the team, because he's probably the best right back in the country at the moment.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
And if you look at Arsenal as well, like they've always had this policy of
Buying French.
buying French,
Buying
but
13-year-old French.
yeah,
That's right, Arsenal. I'm talking to you.
pedo,
Buy some older people. buy some non-French talent.
you're none.
Just because you bought Ozil doesn't make up for 12 years of whatever.
What's he done though? What's Ozil done apart from?
It's just been a waste.
Yeah,
But he'll be
42
fine
million
next season.
Yeah. I mean, good players don't turn bad overnight unless you're Torres.
Torres hasn't turned bad. He's had a bad run, but he actually hasn't been that bad for Chelsea if you look at the stats.
He's had to change his role in the team. With Liverpool, he was a centre forward. He was just on the end of everything. But with Chelsea, he's had to track back into midfield. And he's hold up play and his work rate's actually very
Basically,
good.
Torres has had to turn into Van Persie, in a way. Van Persie tracks back and everything. And Torres didn't do that. He was more of a poacher, really.
Yeah.
An out-and-out striker. And yeah, with Mourinho in charge, you can't be that. That's why Eto'o's not doing that well, because that's what he is,
Yeah.
and has been throughout his career. But we digress. It's not English. I'll save that for another video. But back to the state of the English game.
That's another thing though. Just one more point I'd like to make. With Arsenal bringing in English talent, apart from Wilshere, it's been Oxlade-Chamberlain and Walcott that we've spent upwards of 20 million on, and then developed them.
Carl Jenkinson. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about English talent.
Yeah.
I forgot you said talent.
Sorry.
I just meant English players. Probably going to get a load of Arsenal fans hating on me for that now.
Like you give a shit.
I don't care. Look like Arsenal. What do you think impacts of the 22 World Cup being in Qatar during our winter and their summer? That's gonna mean that we're gonna have a winter break in England, where majority of our games are played around the Christmas period. So many games played there.
It just shows that money makes the world makes the world
What? Makes the girl go around.
Wow. Makes the world go round. Like with Russia as well, getting the 2018. So they're not going to be able to hold an international tournament. With the social problems. You still got terrorism in Russia, racism. It's homophobia. There's going to be homophobia in Qatar as well.
You're going to get that everywhere. You're never going to get rid of it.
How the hell do they expect, not just English teams, but I know there's a winter break in most of the other European leagues, but the World Cup's going to be a month-long tournament.
Yeah.
And that's going to impact...
That's alright, it won't be for England.
Oh, no, not
But
at all.
it still
Not at all.
affects English games. England's foreign anyway now.
Yeah.
The Premier
Yeah.
League's foreign now, near
But
enough.
it's just sad. The negative impact that money's had on the game.
It hasn't been definitely confirmed that there will be a winter break. They're still talking about stopping Qatar getting it and changing it to somewhere else. But it looks likely that it'll be in Qatar, and it will be in our winter. To be fair, it's England. Winter's every month anyway.
Yeah.
But we have, in December we have 15, no not 15, that's a bit much. About 8 or 9 league games during that month.
Including cup competitions as well.
Yeah. So
That's
going to have to change around.
Cup.
What would have to happen, which would then ruin everything else, is you'd have to, for that month that you miss from the World Cup, you'd have to put it somewhere else, like over at the start of the season or at the end of the season, which is then going to either affect the season before,
Or
the
the
ending
season
time,
after.
yeah, or the start of the season after.
The-
And if it's the season after, no one's going to have a break after.
Players are going to be
Might get a
knackered.
2-week break until the new season starts. It's ridiculous. And that's not going to help international football either. I mean, a lot, England's case anyway, but a lot of European teams, you said, have a winter break, so it's not going to affect them. But they only have a 2-week break, I think.
Yeah.
So it's still going to affect them a bit. It's not as bad as us. But I don't think they play that many, even when the break's not on, they don't play that many games.
No.
For those 2 weeks. So they'll be fine. But Germany, they only have about 2 games, I think, after their 2-week break.
So
December.
what do you think is the likelihood that we will get a winter break in the next few seasons? Just to get us geared up towards Qatar. That's if...
Oh, before Qatar?
Yeah, that's if we even qualify for the tournament.
I don't think they'll put in a winter break apart from that tournament. But it depends on how much noise the FA are willing to make about it. If FIFA just turn around and say, shut up FA, we'll give you a load of money, deal with it, which is basically what they'll say in a different language, a different way of putting it, then the FA will just shut up and take it. And they'll move things around and mess up either the previous season or the season after. But there'll never be, well, not for a long time, there won't be a winter break apart from that in England. Even though it should be, because it should be like the rest of Europe.
Absolutely.
There's no point in one country having it and not another. But I can't see there being a winter break for a long time, apart from that World Cup. It does go ahead.
And they've got years to plan ahead as well, like what's most feasible, logistics.
The only way I can see them doing it without ending or starting the season earlier or later than usual is having more midweek games throughout the season. Instead of not Saturday to Saturday, you have Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday.
But then you
for
can
a
have
few months
teams
spread out.
It might benefit teams as well because they'll think, hang on, we're going to need a bigger squad to cope with.
Which goes back to the money thing. There'll be more money spent on
Or
foreign
you could
players.
just develop your own talent.
You'd have. I think they should, because you have to have, what was it, a minimum of 8 homegrown players in the squad. I think it is. Was it 12? It's 12 and 4 in the squad or so, match day, something like that. And they should increase that in England. They should have 8 minimum in the match day squad, and 16 in the squad, in the overall league squad.
Yeah.
And that will help. That will benefit English football. But the FA aren't going to increase it that high because the FA knows they're getting a lot of money from foreign investors. So it's like a no-win situation, really.
Yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So anyway, I think we're going to end it there because we've been rambling on a bit long, and you've obviously got some dinner or something to get to. So we won't hold you. I'd like to say thank you to my co-presenter today, David.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome, maybe. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye.